Hi guys, it's Scott and Peg. We're in Deltona, Florida today. We've got bees coming and going from around this dryer vent, and they're actually coming and going at a pretty good rate. I know they're on a small flow right now. We don't know what they're bringing in. We don't know the size of the colony, but I would think it's fairly large. They're in a block wall. They originally started out getting in around this electric panel somewhere, or maybe this meter can. The guy, this is a rental property, and the landlord called us up about it. He said he had had a beekeeper of some 40 years come out recently to try to get rid of the bees, and the guy tried to spray them and get rid of them and never did. He did charge the landlord and everything, but he just didn't do a very good job, and I'm kind of shocked that the guy who's a beekeeper would even try to spray him and think that would get away. But as you can see, we've got a lot of stuff to work around here, so we're going to have to move gently what we can. We're not going to have the power company come out and disconnect. I don't think we really need that. We might need it in the future, I don't know, but we're going to first try to get them open up and see where they actually are. Since they've found a new entrance, they could be migrating to the left or right from the entrance to get up to where the colony was. So it's going to take a little detective work, but we'll find it. So I hope you all enjoy it. That's a pretty good bit of traffic, so yeah, they're coming and going from wherever they can. Looks like they're all going right off to the left here. Well, that's not them.
I know. I'm telling you, take that vent thing out, take that little box off and cut right there, and you'll be able to see and do everything. Probably.
Now let me see the borescope one more time here. I'll check from up here and get a better angle on this one. Okay, we found them. They're coming and going from down here where the dryer vent was. Evidently they were coming and going from around this meter can. They're in this vertical space in the block wall. But now they're having to come from way over here, so they're coming up and they're crawling through the block to get in there. And when the guy sprayed, he caulked around this box, so he just forced them to find a new entrance. I actually don't see much in the way of dead bees, so he probably just sprayed the outside a little bit and then hoped he could contain them. He was wrong.
No, actually they're going in and going left and then up in the top.
Alright, we're about at the end of it here. At least these few combs. The one back in here that keeps going, but
that's what we want to hear. To your left though, they go and go.
Well, it looks like that keeps going, but I doubt it goes that much further. So there aren't many bees in here though. I don't know if that guy poisoned them enough. Oh. Okay, this is all empty combs so far. I'm hearing bees up in here. So maybe that beekeeper managed to almost destroy them. I don't know. Looks like it's probably going to be fairly small. I hope they have it clean. Some of this comb has a little bit of honey in it, and it's not real old. It's not brittle. So we'll keep going and see what we can find. Okay, now there's a small handful of bees up in the right-hand corner of this. They're already starting to duck into the next block over, which is always a problem on these block wall removals. So I went ahead and squirted some bee repellent in this cavity here, hoping that it would keep them from going that way. The rest of this is all junk comb, and since we know that they were poisoned anyway, we wouldn't ever keep anything, any of the honey or anything. So we're just going to remove this. Try to open up the space a little bit so that we can get to the queen, if they have a queen.
Yeah, if she's there. You want me to keep that?
Yeah, this is all larvae.
We can make it a little shorter.
Yeah. Okay guys, well, we're done for the day. We never found the queen. I think she probably snuck into the next block over on us at some point in time. We're pretty sure there is one because we pulled out two little pieces about this big with some very young larvae in it. And there's just maybe a handful of bees. You can see seems to be a pretty good field forces coming back. And the occasional bee is going into the nuke that we set that larva in. We're going to give it overnight, come back in the morning. Normally in these circumstances we find that they'll come from out of whatever hidey hole they're in and they'll cluster where the colony was originally. So maybe in the morning we'll get lucky and find the queen. But until then, we hope you're having a sweet and sticky day.
Because we sure are.
Okay, here we are the next day. The bees did not cluster up here like we hoped they would. What had happened is they'd gotten into the next cell over, and I sprayed a little bee repellent in there, and they came flying out of there. So we're actually hoping right now, because we never did get the queen, we're hoping that the queen will come out and they'll end up clustering someplace nearby. But they're really pouring out of there. Okay, well watch where they go, Peg. Yeah, she must have already left, because now look at how this is slowed down already. Just that quick. Okay, it looks like they're about to start landing in this vine-covered tree here. I hope they cluster low, but it looks like they're not going to. Of course, it looks like the queen's been bouncing around a little bit. They started on one side and now they're moving to the other.
Well, we still got the queen, but look, she's about 10 foot in the tree.
Do you have one with you?
No, we live down the street.
We only live about 4 miles from here.
We can look in the garage.
Zoom out.
Okay, everybody, we've come back. The weather's coming in. It's Memorial Day, and they say we're getting a storm later, so we're just gonna vacuum these instead of shaking them because we don't have time to wait for the rest of the bees to come back. So here goes Scott. He's gonna take this group and hopefully get the queen. Oh, they're already going to the box, babe.
Yeah. We'll see if they want to. I'll get that zoom in on that and then say, okay, we're done. I'll do a wrap up on the
Okay, everybody. Scott's vacuumed them all in. We've put the vacuum box on top of the ladder to make sure that the bees go there and not back to the branch. Looks like we got her. Everybody's going there. So that's a wrap up. The swarm from the wall